Well, hello, fellow cohorts. MC Big Boy for my third and final challenge in this series. I might create others, but in my star challenge, this is the third part or part two. Well, this ain't part two. This is part one for number three. Now, I didn't even want this screen up. Wait. Let's go here. So what I want to do is kind of review what we did in what I had y'all do the last. We created some arrays for our patterns, and so we could build our patterns here, and then come down and do a switch, and then figure out what color or when to print, when not to print, based upon the pattern in the arrays. Well, today, and then we have these cool colors that we've added. Today, we're going to add another thing to the list here. We're building upon, and guys, there is nothing. I got one thing here in a little while that we haven't covered. Everything else has been in the lessons. There's nothing new here. I'm just taking and putting it all into one big package. So let's get started. Let's look at week three's patterns. Hey, looky here. What we're going to start off with is we have a character set. Up until this point, we have printed the asterisks. Now we're going to have some boxes, we're going to have some weather symbols, some dice, and some card symbols. So we need to be able to choose what we want and the color and the pattern. Now I'm going to walk through several of these, and then what I want y'all guys to do is come up with your own patterns, okay? I'll teach you how to do this. We're going to add. Again, we're just building upon. And again, this is no different than what we've been doing. Let's look at the first pattern. The first pattern is going to be like a box. It's going to have 4 blank places. And it's going to be a 5x5 grid. In fact, that is the same. If we go back over here and we look at number 3, this was also a 5x5. And it had one top row, and the top and the bottom row were the same, and then this middle was the same as rows 2 and 3. And if we wanted to, we could make all 5 rows. We don't have to do it this way. So what we're going to do is let's copy this. We might as well just copy, because we're going to use the same format. We're going to do it almost identical to this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, we're going to get this, we're going to copy this. And then we are going to create another placeholder, just like we've been doing. Nothing, no fancy stuff. And we're going to call this one pattern 100. I just jumped the numbers here. And so we're going to do it like this, and then we're going to paste this in here. So let's go down and let's add to our menu. And hopefully y'all guys are able to do the rest of the problems or the other patterns and add them to your list. And so we're going to do 100. So type in number 100, you get 100. Pattern 100. Or, if we wanted to, we could do 50. Whatever we want to, we'll do 50. Okay? And that's going to give them pattern 100. Now we're going to come down to our while loop in our main, so that we can call this new method we're going to do here. So we said 50. So we're going to do 50. And this one's going to be pattern 100. And then we'll do a break. Easy peasy. We've already done it. So now we know if we run this, we go up here and run it. Okay. And we put in here 50. We should get this output that that's the last thing we did. It's all red. It looks good. Now let's exit out. Now what we want to do is we want to go back to our little character map here. We want to go to our data here, and we want to look and see, well, let's see. It looks like somebody might have created an index with these numbers to the side of the image, with 0 being a space. And so what we're going to do is we're going to go up the top up here, and I'll already have this copied in for you guys. Up here we have this. I have created a character set. So we'll just put it right below here. And guess what? It's an array. Woo! Another array. See, guys, I told y'all before, arrays are everywhere. You're going to use arrays all the time. So if we go back to our little character sheet that I made up, in other words, if you want to display 1, then you're going to put 1 in that index. If you want a space, you're going to put 0. So let's go see how we might code this up. Because what we want to do here is we want to do 1 here, and then we're going to do 3 here. And then what is where's the down one at? 2 there, and then back to a 3 there, and then where's the a 4 there. So that's simple. I mean, we've already done this. We did it with the colors. So let's go see if we could do it with the character set now. So we're going to jump down here, and we're going to go up here, and these rows up here are for colors. So we're also saying that when we're going to print a blank or not, because we're not setting a color. So what we're going to do is I'm going to rename these. I'm going to rename these color row 1. So I'm going to refactor. If you go to refactor, you go to rename. What it does is it'll find all the places where you have this, and it's going to change everything. So let's rename this to, how about, we'll leave it row. Row sounds good. Row 0. But now we're going to put, we'll put color. Row 0 color. I think that sounds good. And so, and what it did is it went down here in our little block, and where we had row 1 a while ago, now it's row color, row 0 color. So let's go up here and let's refactor this one. Go to refactor, go to name. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to go on the end of it here. We're going to go to the end of it. And we're just going to type in color. Because that's what these really are. These are the row colors. All right, so now we're going to refactor this one. And so we're just going to rename it. Okay, so we are going to do color like that. Now, what I want to do here is I want all 5 of my actual rows. I don't want to duplicate any of those that we probably could. So we're going to just do new int, and then we're going to give it some data. And since we know that row 3 is the same as row 1 or was, and so we're going to do 2 0 0 0 whoops 0 comma 2, and that's the end. So now we have an identical row, but this allows us to set a pattern within here, or a color. These are colors. So let's set up the last one. So we have total control over our little grid here that we've made. So we're going to do color, and then we're going to do new, and it's an int, and we're going to give it some data. Now we're just going to give it, if my fingers will type, we're just going to give it 2, 2, 2, 2, which makes them all red, which is fine. And now, so that takes care of the colors. Well, we're now not just printing one thing, because we're printing. If we go down here and we look at our statement down here, we got asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Well, I want to change that because I want to print different things, and we can print them in different colors. All right. So let's create. So let's see. We have an index of a string. So that index automatically tells us we need another number. So let's do row 0, and we're just going to do character. All right, and that's going to equal to new integer. And again, we're going to come over here. We need 5 places. Why do we need 5 places? Because if we come over here and we look at, where's mine? If we look at our little pattern down here, there's 5 slots, 5 images we're going to be using. And so what we're going to do is the first one is going to be this little corner, number 1. So we're going to come over here and we're going to place a number 1 in here. Now we're going to go back. We're going to look at this one. It is 3. So we're going to put a 3. And then we're going to, and you know what? Let's do this. Let me close this out. Let me slide this over. Whoops. Let me grab this, slide this over, and slide this over. And now we can see this without having to go back and forth. So now we need the top down, which is 2. So we're going to say we want 2. And then we want 3 again. And then we want 4. So you guys see how we did that? We just created this pattern right here that fast. No ifs, because we're using an array to hold this to make our decisions for us based upon an integer value, which image we're going to display. So let's do the next one. So this is going to be row 1, character, and it's going to be new int. I didn't put my int correctly. All right, so we're going to do, so what is it going to be? Well, it's the straight up and down, so that looks like it's going to be an 8. Now, we don't have a character, so that's going to be 0, and then it's going to be 8, 0, and then 8. And that's it. That fast, that quick. All right, so now let's make our next array, and we're just holding the data. I hear a lot of people hollering they don't get arrays. Arrays are easy when you think about it. We're just holding data. Okay. All right, so let's look at the middle one's going to be a little bit different. So we need the outside going, so we need 5. And then we already know that the next one is 3, if I could type. Then what's the cross? The cross is 6. So we need to get 6. And then we need to get 3. And then we need to get the end, which is 7. And then let's do another array. And this is going to be, okay, new. Now we're going to come down here and we're going to give it some data. Whoa, I double tapped that one. And this one is really going to be the same as row 1. So let's just copy it. So it's going to be 0, 8, 0, 8. And that's it. That fast. Now let's do the last one. Whoops, int. That don't make sense. So let's do this one's going to be row 4. It's going to equal to new integer array. And we're going to give it values. Well, it's going to be 4 across. So the first one's going to be so it'll be a number 11. And then we know that's 3 because we've already used it a couple of times. And that's 10. And then that's 3. Then the closing one is going to be 9. So we just built our pattern inside 5 arrays. Now, we need to go implement this. We have the color implemented, but now we need to go do this. So I think the easiest way to do this is up here we created something called color. So I think what we're going to do is almost the exact same thing. We're going to come up here and we are going to do int to hold our value, and we're going to call it print character. And we're just going to set it to -1 just for the fun of it. We could have set it to 0, but it doesn't matter. And we're going to come down here. Now what we're going to do is, well, we broke out everything into its individual rows. So let's rearrange this a little bit. So let's come up here first, put a space after that one. And let's put a space after that one. And let's take and copy this, put it up here, and then let's make a little, let's put break, because you always want to break afterwards. So we want to put, we're going to do them in correct order. So we're going to put it up here. And the reason we had them before, because we had identical rows. Here, we still have identical rows. We could do it that way. Let's see if we color this. Now, this is not going to be row 0. It's going to be row 1. All right, let's do our break. Again, these are all just building blocks that we've already been using. Nothing new here. Everything is hunky-dory. So where's 2 at? So let's just take 2, grab him, and we're just going to put him up here. And then because 2 is there, we better put a break so it doesn't go to 4. And then go to 4. Oops. Okay, come on, 4. Get back where you're supposed to be. We'll get you over here one way or the other. Okay, so let's see. So we got 0, 1, 2. This one needs to be 3. Oh, where's 3 at? There's 4. Let's put 3 above 4. So let's take 3 and stick it up there. Okay, so now we got, so let's make sure this is 3. And then let's make sure this one's 4. It's 0 right now. We're going to put 4 here. That's not a 4, that's a 4. I'm not sure why this is not going where it's supposed to be. Come back over here. And then we're going to get rid of these extra spaces we got. We got a bunch of them, so we're just going to close it off. So now let's look at this. So what we got is we're going to do when row, because remember our row is our first outer, it's our outer loop. So when it comes to it's going to be 0. So we're switching on this, so it's 0. So it's going to run this color for the column. And then it's going to come down here. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to use this same little block. And we're going to come in. We made a print character a while ago. And we want it to equal to our character set index. Well, what do we want our index to be? Well, we made some row character, and then we're going to put column in here because we want to get the column, the index from the column. Now, why in the world is it? Oh, I see what okay, let me think about what I did. I made that a integer because I was going to hold an integer. Well, we could do this too. We could do this a bunch of different ways. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back up here and let's make this an integer. I mean a string. I got a better way of. And that's what happens to you guys when you're coding. You're going to come up here and you're going to say, well, I like that or I like that. Then you'll be working on your code and all of a sudden you're going to say, wait a minute, I got a better way of doing this. So we're going to come down here and what we're going to do is we're going to assign print character to whatever's in the array here. And we don't need color. That's not the right index. We want column. That's too fast on my feet. So let's come down here. We're going to do the same thing here. So we're going to do print character. And we're going to get the character from the character set. This time, we want to do row 1 character. And then we need to get an index. So we're going to do column. We want the column. Do you see how we're using the 1 for loop? So we're using this for loop of column to get an index of both our color, because up here we have a color with 5 array. We have our character with 5 array. So let's put a good old closing semicolon. And then let's come down here and let's do this one. We're going to do the exact same thing. So we're saying what character we want to print. And we're getting it from this character set we made up. And so now it's going to be row 2 character. Now we got to get the index. And again, we're using the column to get that index because it's all lines up. So now let's come over here. At least I hope it does because I haven't tested this yet. We're testing it right now. Print character equals what character set do we want to do? And we made up a character set for row 3. And so now we're coming down here and we are doing column, not color, and then put our bracket. And then we're going to come down here. We got one more to do for this part of the code. We're going to do print, and we're going to do character, And we're going to get that from the row 4 character array. And so now again, we're going to use column as an indexer to index. Okay, so to recap here, guys, we're using this. Holy mountain, my mouse is messed up. Okay. Oh, now I can move my mouse. So we're using this switch statement. When row is equal to 0, we're going to set the color, and we're going to set what character to print. So let's go down to the color statement down here. Before, we were printing this. So now we can replace this with our variable print character. So let's do this. Let's do this. So let's take and let's highlight this. We want to highlight just that. We want to make sure we don't highlight anything else. We're going to go to edit, and we're going to go to find and replace. Well, what do we want to replace it with? Well, what do we want to find first? We want to find asterisk, star, asterisk. And what do we want to replace it with? Well, we want to replace it with this print character that we created. And so we want to do replace all. So now we come in here, instead of having to retype all that, we now have a printable character in here, and it's going to come down here. Now, if color is 0, then the character doesn't matter. But we're going to come down here, we're going to do the same thing we did with here. We're going to set print character equal to a null space, basically. Okay. Because we still have our default here for our blank space. Now, you know what? I haven't tested this, guys. I have no idea what it's going to do. I'm hoping what it does, so let's find out. Oh boy, here we go. Here's the big test. Let's see. We are going to put that in there. And, well, we almost got it. It looks like we're missing. Look at that. Our first try, and we almost got our pattern. So it looks like we missed a couple of things here. And let's find out what. First of all, down here at the bottom, this is an easy one. We put a turn down. It should have been turned up. So let's go back to our code. And so that's on the last line. Okay, so let's go to our array. So that'll be here. And look at over here. That says 11 is supposed to be that. And I put 11. So something is amiss here. And 3s were supposed to be that. So we got something going on. I either got the wrong value up here in my little array up here, or I put it in the wrong place. So let me go over to my little test code that I created earlier, and let me whip that out real fast. In fact, hang on. Well, you know what we'll do is, which one of these I can open up that doesn't have something in it that I don't really want to show you so you don't get scared. Okay, we'll do 7. So how we're going to test this is, first of all, let's come down here and let's exit out because we're still looking. We have our scanner going. It's still waiting for an input. But we can scroll back up and see what our boo-boos were. So what we're going to do is we're going to open up Scratchpad, what is it, 7? We'll open up Scratchpad 7. And let's go back over here to our challenge 3, okay, which is up here. And let's just copy this magnificent string that I made earlier, this array of strings, and let's go to 7. And we're going to go up here above, and we're going to paste it in here. Now, what we're going to do is I want to do a for loop, and so we're just going to make I equals 0. I is less than, well, what's the name of our array? So it's string character length. And then we're just going to increment I. Oh, not 3 of them. And then we put a block. Fingers type. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to S out. And so I'm going to do I colon, because I want to see what my index is. So we're going to do plus I plus space. Need a space in there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do a plus, and then we're going to do our character set with an I in there. If I can just only type. Golly. Okay, so let's move this back over here. So let's run this test code. See, and this is what you do all the time, guys. You have to test things. So let's look and see where I made my mistake. Well, C11 is definitely the turn down and not the turn 8. Do I have two turn downs? I do. Look at that. That's a turn down, and that's a turn down. So I've got I got a miss number here. Okay, so on Windows, I don't know how to do it on Mac, but on Windows, we can type in character map, and we can actually find these characters that I'm using. So let's go. They're way down here. So there they are right there. And there's a whole bunch of them, and there's a whole bunch more besides these. But let's look for the value of, let's see, we should have, and I thought I caught all these before. That's the other one. Where is, okay, I know it's right in front of my eyeballs. There it is right there. So it should have been 255A. So now how are we going to find it? Well, that's easy because look, we know that 12, we know 11, so it's so if we count starting at the very beginning of our array, so we can find, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And I have 2554. And what did the character map said it was supposed to be? 255A. So let's put A where the 4 is. And you might ask, how in the world can you have a number with A? It's because it's hexadecimal. And hexadecimal has 16 digits instead of 10 digits that we normally have. So let's go back over to our code. And we know we might have another bug in there for some reason. But let's run. Actually, let's go run our test code again. Let's run our test code. We'll just run our test code again. Did that fix it? So we go to 11. And we now have the correct symbol. In 3, looks like it's the correct symbol. So let's go back to our code over here. Oh, you know what we need to do? We better come in here and fix this A right here, or 4, and put an A. That's what it was, right? Yes, that's what it was. Okay. So now we should have the right symbol. Let's go look up at our array. Why? Something sneaky here, because we have a 3 here and a 3 here. So let's go look at our array. So array 0, 1, 2, 3. So I have 2550. And we can go look at our little thing over here. It is printing out that line. So why are we not getting it? I don't know. But I think I know why. Let me go show you why. I know why. Because if we go down and we look at our colors, we have 0 there. We have 0 color right there. So let's put a 2 there and put a 2 here. Because remember, when we put zeros, it puts blanks. So we filled that in. Now let's run it again. I feel confident this time. See, guys, you got to be willing to troubleshoot. You got to figure out where it was. So let's do pattern 50. Oh, look at that success! We have exactly what was in our, where is it? Right here. So we created pattern 100. Y'all got to see how easy that was? Y'all see how what we've done? Before, we were doing all these crazy ifs and all this stuff and conditions, and we have simplified it down to just a couple of arrays. So do you see how the benefit of arrays can be? Because now we have this array up here, and this is for our colors, and this is for our characters. Now let's go up here and I'm going to change this one to 5 or a 6. Make this 5. Make this 3. Make, I need a 3. Make this 3. Let's run it again. What do you think's going to happen? We're going to go run this again. Run. Yeah, I forgot to stop it. So, yeah, okay. Okay, so let's put, I'm not trying to highlight you. Put 50. And look at that. We got different color elements within our little block right there. So y'all guys can change the colors. Easy peasy. You can change the shape. Easy peasy. So let's go try to do the next one. We have 2 more. How much time have I used up already? Yikes, it's been 30 minutes. So we're going to have to make these, but we had a little troubleshooting to do. Maybe I won't get to this one or this one. Maybe what we'll do is, maybe we'll skip down to this one. Okay? I'll leave these 2 for you guys to figure out. They're the same. But let's come down here, and I want you to see that I did a trick on you. I put some question marks in here. Now, what do you think question marks mean? Well, in this case, this is the one new thing I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you how to create a random number. And what we're going to random is, if you look at the character set, if we go back to the very top and look at the little character set that I made, we have 6 dice. Okay, 16 through 21. So what I want to do is, every time you run this, I want it to create 6 different numbers here to randomly fill in those icons or those graphics. So let's start off. Let's see how in the world will we start this. Well, I guess the first thing we're going to do is we're going to notice that we are we're 1 row shy of being 15. And here we are 15 this direction. Even though this is blank up here, it's still part of the grid. So let's go and let's copy. Let's go up here and I'll show you another little trick. Oh my word, I'm showing you too many tricks here. So I'm going to roll this up, and then I'm going to put my cursor above this, down below that, and I'm going to hit copy. And then I'm going to go right below this, and I'm going to hit paste. Now, did you see what it did? Did you see this? It created everything that was inside that block. So now we all need to do is come up here, because you can't have 2 methods with the same name, and we just give it a new name. Now we created all that code that we didn't have to copy it, figure out where the block ends, where it starts. So we're going to call this 101. So let's go add it to our menu. So we'll come down here and we're going to do system, and we're going to say 51, and we're going to say pattern 101. So that gets our menu to display. And then we're going to come down here to our switch, which we're using inside our main to decide which thing we want to run. And so if Michael could type, oh my word, we'd be in trouble. And so now we're going to do pattern. Where's 101 at? 101. And then we're going to do a break. Now break is not actually necessary because default is the next, but I always put it in there just for good program habits, so if you put something underneath it, you already have your break above it, so your code don't run twice, or don't run when you don't want it to run. So now we've got this up here, and we've already got this set up. We've already got the colors all set up. We already got our everything done, set up. We even have our rows. We have 4 of them done. We'll have to do a few more. So let's go up here. Now, we might as well, we're just going to make this 15 elements big. Holy moly, you're saying, whoa, whoa, whoa. So what I'm going to do actually is, I'm going to take, and I'm actually going to I'm going to block this out. I'm going to temporarily hide it if I hit the right key. Okay, so I commented that out. And then what I'm going to come up here and do is I'm going to make row 0 color. I want to erase all these 2's, and I'm going to put 0's. And I'm just going to put all 0's until I got 15 of them. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Let's double check that. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Perfect. Now what we're going to do is we're just going to delete these. We don't need these right now. We're going to make new ones because we're going to make 15 by 15 rows because we have rows and columns, right? And there's almost exact number. We're just not really going to use this last one, but we'll go ahead and do it. And from all the rest of the patterns, you can use this and we'll see how it goes. So what we're going to do is we're just going to jump over here and we're going to grab the equal sign all the way to the end and we're going to copy this. And so what we're going to do now is we're going to do int, and then we're going to say row 1 because we already have 0 color, and then we're going to just copy it. That's all we're going to do. So we're going to do row, and it thinks it knows what we want because we already have those down below. It's going to give us some errors here in a minute, but we don't care. So we're just going to do it like this. So we're just going to keep on going, speed to the wind. And it says color 3, yeah, we'll do that. And actually we'll just come here and just hit our paste button because we know we can do that right now. So we're going to do row 4. It likes row 4. All right, now we need to go all the way to 14. So let's go to 14. So we're just going to keep going here. Now this row doesn't have anything, so we're going to make row 5 color. And then we're just going to do it like this. And then we're just going to keep going here, just row 6 color. And we got it going here. Look at this. We're on a roll here. So now we're going to do row 7. No, it's not 7, that's 8. Color, and then we're going to throw it in there. So we're building our rows right now. And this row is what controls the color of our item, or I should say of our character, because we've got characters now instead of just stars. So now we're going to come in here. We're going to do row 9 color, and then we're going to do, well, we come back here and we just, my fingers only work. Oh shoot, I accidentally copied that. So we're going to go back up here, copy. Ever since my carpal tunnel syndrome surgery, my typing stinks. All right, so we're going to come over here. We're making all these arrays. Okay, now it's going to be 10, color, boom. Okay, so we're going to come in here and it's going to be row 11, color, and we're just going to, bam, we've got it. Look at this, look at this. Now I'm going to close my, we're not running right now. Oh, we are running, so let's hit 0 to close it out because we didn't do that earlier. We were naughty. So let's come up here and let's keep going. So we've got, we're on 11, so we're almost there. So now we're going to do row 12. Oh, see, I keep doing that. I don't know why. I already got it copied. So now we're going to do row 13 color. And now we're going to do, we can just paste it. Now we got one more for our colors. So now we're going to do row 14, 14, which is because we started at 0, so that is 15. So there is our grid. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to come down here and we're going to delete our characters. We're just going to delete them. We're just going to go bye-bye. And we're going to come up here and we're going to do our arrays for our characters. So it's going to be row 0. They already got it kind of spelled out. But we're going to assign the data all zeros. Okay, so we're just going to keep doing this, guys. We're going to see it, think it knows because we already had it before, that it still wants us to use it. Okay, so that's why it's already typing these out for me. So, but we're just assigning all 0 values to begin with because we're setting up our grid. That's all this is a grid, and I keep trying to type it the long way when I can do it the short way here if I would just play the game. Okay, that's the last one we had set up, so now we need to do, okay, so we're going to do row 5, character, and press that copy button. And we're going to do row 6, again if my fingers would only work, and we're going to press that copy button. So we're just rolling out here. And hopefully y'all guys are actually following along, doing the same thing that I'm doing. Oops, I didn't put a space in there. I love my spaces. I think spaces are awesome. I didn't used to think that so much, but the longer your code gets and the more you do, oh, I see I got 2 6s. So that should have been 7. All right, so good catch now. Okay, so we have almost got all these made. Okay, so row 9. Okay, and then we're going to just keep on trucking. Okay, well, let's just back that up and get us do it this way. I don't know why my brain does that sometimes. 11, and then space, and then we just copy it. Okay, so now we're going to do row 12, character. Oh, see, I want to type it the long way. My fingers just say, no, we're not going to copy and paste. So, but we are going to copy and paste. All right. Now look at that. We got one more to make. And now we have a grid for our characters set up. All right, there's our grid for our color. There's our grid for our pattern. Now let's go ahead. We got a few changes we need to make down here. The colors we don't need to change because there's only 8 colors and we've already got all that set up. What we do need to do is we need to add the rest of the rows, because right now we only have rows, we only have the first 5 rows. So what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to copy this. I'm going to copy that. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to put, oh man, case 5. Go down and I'm going to paste it. And then what I'm going to come up here and do is we're just going to replace the 4 with a 5. And then we'll come down here and we're going to do the same thing. Do you see how our naming convention made this easier? So we're going to come down here and we're just going to do a new case. Case 6. Golly, I wish that my fingers would quit doing that. And then we're just going to paste it in. And so this is going to be a 6. So we're just going to delete that or back it up. And that's a 7, not a 6. One of these days my fingers will learn to work. Okay, so now we got a 6. So let's just keep going. So we're just setting up each row to be processed. That's all we're doing. Man. Sorry guys. I'm getting kind of frustrated. My fingers are just not wanting to do what they need to do. So there's 7 there. And we have a 7 there. Okay. And then we're going to do case 8. And we're just keep copying and pasting here. we've refined our code, so we are down to a real simple set of instructions. There's just kind of a lot of them. Okay, so we're just repeating ourselves here. We're just coming up to a repeat, and so we're at 9. We're almost got there, huh? So we're going to do 9 here. Come over here. We're going to back this up, and we're going to do 9 there. So let's come down here. We'll do case 10. And again, we're just copying and pasting and putting our data so we can process each row, each column. And we've made this so simple now that it's real easy to do. Okay, so 11. Okay, copy. Do. We're on 11. I've done the W2 there. Okay. W2, do you get it? Little tax humor. No pun intended. So now we're going to come down here and we're going to do 12. And come over here and do 12. Not 123. Oh my word. We are almost done with this. 13. Okay, so we got one more after this. 13, not 14, 13. Okay, so we're going to put 13. And why did it not like 13? Oh, I accidentally clipped the C on color. That's why I didn't like it. We got one more here. So we're going to do our case 14. And we're going to print this. And then here, all we need to do is just add the 1. Since that already had 4 in it, so we can just print the 1 in front of it. Okay, so we've already got, now look at that. We got all of our rows, all of our columns ready to process. All we need to do is come up here and put something in our data slots. So what we're going to do is I'm going to close this off over here again. And we're going to put this over here on the screen so you guys can still see it. But we can also see our table over here. So the first thing I'm going to do is I don't care what color you pick. I'm just going to do everything in the first color, and then I'll come back and maybe change it up later. We did red last time. Let's do blue, orange. I don't care. Let's see. If we come up here, blue is 5. So let's look at our pattern up here. So on our first row up here, the only place that we have a pattern is going to be these 3 right here. So that's going to be row 1, and that's going to be column 1. So right here, let's put a 5. Oh, that's not a 5. Let's put a 5. And then we're going to put 3 5s because there are 3 items or 3 images being printed. Now we go down a row, and it's also going to start in column 1. And there's going to be, oh, look here, we got a lot of stupid print here. So we've got 1, 2, I'm pointing to the screen and you can't see it, I know. So we're going to have, start with 1, we're going to go all the way over to 5. So let's make them all 5s. So we're going to, oh my word, what did you do, Mr. Michael? So we're going to do 5 because we want, so we're going to do 5 for the question mark right now. We might come back and change that another color. And then we got 2 more we need to do for the pattern. We're just looking at the pattern. And then now it looks like we're going to skip 1 because there's nothing on 6. So let's go to 7. And the next 3, we're going to put 5s. All right, we're done with that row. So that was row 2, right? That was row 2. So let's go to row 3. Row 3 is also going to have 3 here. And then we're going to go over and it looks like 5. So there's going to be something here at 5. And then we go, we're on 3, so 5. Okay, 6 and 7. So we go over here 6 and 7, and then we got 5 there and 5 there. We're done. Boom. Now let's go to, that was row 3 we just did. Let's go to row 4. So row 4, it looks like the first one is the number 5. See right here? You can't see my pointer. We're looking at row 5. And so let's go over here to row 4. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So is that where it says? It says 5. So let's put a 5. And then we're going to skip over 1. And we're going to make these 3 here to make our little box. If you look right here, it's kind of hard to see, but we got 3 sets. So we got 9 5s here. We got 9 5s here. And you can track the 5s going down. All right. Now, we also have, if you look on here, starting at 11. So, and what we're going to do is we're just going to kind of, we're on row 4. So we're going to go backwards because we can see that it's 1 off of this corner. So, and it's even with here. We also know there's just 1 space in between here. So we can backspace 5, not 5, 0, 5, and then 5. So that gets that. So now let's go to row, that was row 4. So let's go to row 5. Again, we got the same one going down right here. We can see that. There's a 5 there. And then we don't have anything until we get to over here to these 3 sets over here. So we're going to just put our 3 5s here. Okay, now we've done that line. So let's go to 6. And 6 again. 5 is still going down this straight line. We can see there's a row of 5s here. Okay, so we're going to put a 5 there. Yep, and then we're going to go over and we're going to close. See how this is making another block of 9? So we're going to do 5, not 6. So we're going to do this. So now we have those 5. All right, so now we should be on row 7. So row 7 starts, it looks like right here, and we're going to do 3 5s in a row, and then we're going to skip 1. We should line up with our other 5, and we do. And then we're going to go all the way across to underneath our 9 5s over here, and we're going to put 1 there. All right, so we're going to go to the next line, which is line 8. All right, and so it looks like, excuse me. So we're going to have our 3 5s that make our box up with our question mark in it. Oh, and then we're going to meet up. This 5 is going to meet this 5. And then it looks like we're going to skip 2. And then we're going to come over here and we're going to go all the way over until we line up with this 5. So now we're on 9. So we're on 9. So let's see. So again, we're making these little boxes you can see here. So we're going to do 5 there, 5 there, 5 there. And then we're going to skip 1 because this 5 line still goes down. But now it also goes over 5 here, 5 here, and 5 here. Then it goes up. Then it goes all the way over to where this is. So it looks like it's 2 squares for the edge. And we're going to put another 5. Now we're on line 10. So 10, where's that line going down? There it is right there. So I can see this is the line. Now it's swampy a little bit because of number 10 moving out just a little bit. So there's 10. And then we go over here. The only other thing we have is another 5 over here. Now we're on 11. And 11, we have the 5 going down. And then we have skip a space, and then there's the next 3 for that box. And then we're going to skip a space and these 3 because now we've connected to them. Okay, so now we are on line 12. In line 12, we got another box. So we're going to start with our 5s here. Remember, we're setting up the color. And then we're going to skip all the way over till we get to our line coming down. And then on 12, it also goes across. And then it also goes back up. And then we skip a row. Wait a minute. Did I do something wrong here? Skip. Okay. All right, so 12. It should be 3. Oh, okay. We're... Something seems to be... I think I've mislined something here. Oh, I see what happened. Let's make this back 0. I put it in the wrong spot. It should be here. Because it should be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. No, that's right. 5 is right there. So we got something. I'm not seeing something here. All these numbers can get kind of daunting here. Well, let's look at this line 12, which is what we're on. 3 5s. Oh, and then we should have 2, not... okay, hang on a minute. So... Why is I'm only got one? Where's my line going down? Oh, I see. It moved over on me. Okay. Okay, so maybe so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it is place. Oh, it's place 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's right. So was that supposed to be 2 here? I've got a mess here because I'm looking at it and I'm kind of like, so what we can do is when you get in trouble like this, let's just separate our lines a little bit. So because 11, let's look at 11, make sure the 11's right. So if we count over here, so we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's make sure 11's right. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then so that's 11. So then we should have 3 5s, then a square, then 3 5s and a blank. So that one works. So 12, we should have, oh, I see what I did. Here's where I messed up. Now I see where I messed up. I should have started here. I put the 5 in the wrong spot. So this should actually be 0 here. And 2 spaces and a 5, and then 2 spaces, or 12, actually 3 spaces, oh, more than that, hang on, we're on 12, right, 12, so we should have 2 blank spaces, and then we have 3, oh, it's more than 3, because this is the line that is feeding this box. So if we look right here, we can see this is the top of the box. So we got 3 more spaces for that box. I got confused there for a minute. All right, and then we have a space, and now we're going to fill this in. So that should have fixed that. That was just a visual, just didn't see it right. So we're on 13 now. All right, so we are going to do 5 3 times. Okay, and then we also got 3 more 5s because we're lining up with this pipe coming down, and then we have a space, and then we have the bottom of this box right here, and then we're going over here in space, and we got the bottom of this box and this box. And then the last line, the only thing we have is the 3 over here. So we now have our colors done. All right, so we have our color codes set up. Oh my word, this is a big grid. Could you imagine if this was a 32 by 32 piece of graphic, which what a lot of graphics are. Some of them are 64 or even bigger. So let's start our characters now. So this one we're going to have to bounce back and forth between our character sheet, I'm pretty sure. So there's got to be nothing on the top row because we're not printing anything. So we need to start this elbow right here, this corner right here. So if we go up to our corner is 1. So what we're going to do is where's the pattern at? There it is. So we're going to put a 1 space in. So we know that's 1. Now there's a couple ways you can actually do this, guys. And there's no right and wrong way of doing it. Wow, I'm over an hour. I got to hurry up. Okay. So we're going to go down here to 7 1. Go to 7 1, and we're going to put another 1 there. And then we're going to go to 12 0. So 12 0, we're going to put, nope, don't do that. Put a 1. Now we also, if we come over here, we need to go to 2 7. So we go to 2. Now it gets a little more confusing because I can't, where is 7 at? But these right here we're able to see real fast, so we placed them. So let's go over and get our, which we know is 3. We already know that. For some reason I already know that. So this is going to be a 3 here. Well, it's not a 3. We're going to do a 3 here. And then we're going to skip down, and this is going to be a 3. So we already know that. That's a 2. A 3. And then we're going to come over here, because remember we're doing a little box, right? And so this is going to be a 3 here. There's going to be 1 3 there. And then we're going to come over, and maybe we'll just have to do it line by line. So let's go get the other elbow, okay, which is number 4. So if we come back over here, we know that this is 4. Okay, that's not a 4. This is a 4. So now we have a 4. All right. So we can already start to see we have 1 3 4. All right, well, let's go get the up and down. What's the up and down? Bar is 8. So we come over here and we know this is going to be 8. And once we get a few of the pieces picked in, then we already know what they are. We won't have to keep going back and forth. Okay, so we already know we got our 3. Let's get our bottom corner there, which is 11. Okay. So right here is going to be 11. Okay. And so let's see. So we already got a 3 there. So let's get our bottom. Let's get our bottom corner, which is 9. So we're going to come over here. And we got a 9. And then we're going to go up here and we need to get the piece coming to 5. So we need to put a 5 right here. Okay. So let's go down and look at, see what we got here. So we already know that this is the same as this. So we look up here, we know that's a 4. So this is going to be a 4. So we can already figure that out. And then we can skip 1 and go over here. And we know that's going to be the same as that one. So that's going to be a 1. We know the next one's going to be a 3. Because we can look and see. And then we know the next one's going to be a 4. Okay. And there is no more on that line. All right. So then we come down. And so we... Alright, so let's see. So we know below this one, we know that is going to be an 8. Because we know 8 right over here, so we know that's going to be an 8. Okay. And then we know the corner is going to be the same as this corner, so that's going to be a 9. And because they're not lining up all the way, I hope this is the right one. We'll figure out real fast, and we know this is going to be a 3. Okay. And this is going to be 11. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, guys. I'm doing this off kind of the seat of my pants. I did a little testing, but I didn't do the whole thing. So let's come down here, and let's see what we got so far. See, did it work? See if we're on the right track. Look at that. So we've already got our first little box up here coming out. Now I'm not sure why we didn't have the second box because we started it. So we must have something wrong somewhere. So we're going to continue. I know the video's getting long, guys, but I want to show y'all how to do this. I want to make sure we get it right. So let's come up here and let's see what happened here. So we have the first box. Oh, let's get out of this real fast. We don't leave it running. So we did the first box. The first box looks like it worked perfect. And then we should have had a turn down. All right, so, and we know that should have been the same here as 4. So why didn't 4? Well, I bet you if we come up here in 5, we have the 3 here, and we do have the 1 here, and we do have 5 there. So that should have corresponded with a, because that is row 2. Oh, wait. Yeah, row 2. But we should have also, we had 1, 3, 4 over here, and they didn't get printed out. Oh, I know, golly. Looky here, guys. We forgot to make these 15. So we forgot to do our, it just dawned on me what we didn't do. Because it looks right. So let's go down here and let's run our code again. And we got our little menu going to come. That's so cool, our little menu coming up. So we're going to do 51. And now look at this. We got pieces all over the place. So look, we got this one here. We got this one we started. And we can see that we got to line up. We're off. Some reason we're off right here. So let's see if we can go fix that. Okay. So we know we're off on that one. And so we look at the diagram and we know they're on row 4. So let's go up here to row 4. Okay, row 4. And we are off our placement here. So this should have been 11. This should have been 3. And this should have been 9. Okay. Make that 9. That's 8, not 9. 9. And then we're going to make this 0. No, do not do insert. Insert bad, 0. All right, now, so that should have moved that over. 9. Did we not have 9? I wonder why that didn't print that. That's kind of strange. Well, let's just keep going. So let's see. So we have it turned down here. So we know we've got this right. So let's look going down. We need the, wait a minute, we already have that. We know that's the same as this one. So we can look up here, and that's a 5. So we should be able to come under the 4. Okay, see this, they're 1 over slightly. So this one right here should be a 4. Okay, because, no, it should be a 5. All right. So I'm going to go run it. I know it's a small increment of change, but I want to go run it and make sure that we are doing it right. Okay. Make sure our pattern is coming out. Oh, I forgot to stop it before. Oh, y'all guys, if you could only be here to help me correct myself. I'm my worst enemy. Perfect. Look at that. Got it going. We fixed that corner. Everything's looking good. Got the 2 boxes almost fixed. And so let's come down here and make sure we do a 0, get out of it. So we're good. We are looking good. So let's come back up here. And we are, so 11. So what we need is, we need that piece that goes in right there. So let's go, and we don't have that piece yet. We haven't done that piece yet. And that's going to be 7. So let's go over here. So we've got this 1, and so it should be 7, should go right here, and then we know this should be a 3 right here. Okay, so that should be a 3. So that should finish off our top box, 2 boxes, and far as our diagram goes here. So let's try. We got to hurry up. I know it's late, guys. I know we've played with this for a while and stuff. So bear with me. I should have broke this up into two, but I didn't know it. So there we go. So look, it's all lining up. We got a nice little color going here. We can change color later on if we wanted to. So now we just need to go. We need to put. We know we can line that up, and then also the bottom of this lines up with the top of that box. So let's go back up here. So we can go up here. Let's do this. Golly, I actually remembered this time. And we can just close this down so we can see more. So we know the bottom of this box, or this box right here, is the top of this box. So we can skip one. And we've already done a top box before, so we know it's 1, 3, 4. So that'll get that box. We also know that the sides are 8. So we can come down here and we know one away from here is this. So it's going to be 8 here. That's a 9. And then we're going to come over here and put one away, put an 8 there. Then we also know that this corner right here will be 11. Oh man, I am messing up. And then we know that, and we don't know what goes there, but we do know what goes here because it's the same as that one, so it'll be a 9. So we nearly have this box already done. All right, so now let's go over here and we are going to go, we know right here, look at this. We got a 1 right here. So we know that that's going to be 3. That's going to be 4. We know the sides are going to be 8s. So we can put an 8 here. And then we know this is going to be the same as the other side. So that's going to be a 5. So we got a little thing coming out of it. And then number 9, we know that this is going to be 11. And we know that's going to be a 3. And then we know the corner is going to be a 9. So see how fast we're getting to go now. So let's go up here, and the straights are 8. So we can see that we have a 5, then a 3. All right, we know there's a space between it. So there's the corner. So this has to be 8 here. So we're going to do, oops, that's a 9. 8, 8, 8, 8, 8. No, that's not going to be an 8 there. That's going to be the same. That's going to be a 7. So we made quite a few changes. So let's go run it again. Let's go see how it's looking. See if we're getting what we want. So we're going to come in here. We're going to do 51. And look at that. Look at that. We almost got these boxes all made. Do you see how quick that was as we start getting going? Because we already know what the graphics are that make that up. Now we got a little house over here we forgot. Oh no, that's this house. So this house right here is the top of this one. So we could go up here real fast, and we know that this is going to be 3, 4, because we've already done it. So we already know this is going to be 3, this is going to be 4, and then we know this is going to be an 8. Oh, that's a 7. And do an 8. And then we know this is going to be the bottom, which is going to be 11. And then we know this is going to be a 3. And then we know this is going to be a 9, right? Because we're just copying what we've already done. And then we know this is going to be the same for our doorway right here, or our exit, whatever. It's a 5. So we know that's going to be a 5. Now we just need to keep lining things up. So we know going out the center of this is going to be a 3 and a 3. And then we're going to go up, which is the same as the bottom corner. So that should be a 9. Okay, so we're going to go up. We know that's going to be a 5. Okay, and then we know we're going to do 8 because we're going up. Oops, keep hitting that key there. We don't want to hit that key. 8, and then we're going to do 8. And we should be really almost close to lining up. Let's run it again. Do not be afraid to run your code continuously. You make little changes, test your code. That's the only way to do it. Look at that. We just need to look at that. We almost have this already built. So let's go put this number 3 in here so we can go up to our house and we can see the pattern right here. So there's one space between the 5 and the 7. We know that needs to be 3. And then we can come down here. We already know, we look right here, we've got this 5 right here. So we know that's going to be a 3. And then we also know, because that's a 3, that the next number is going to be the same as this one up there. So that is going to be, where's it at? 7. So this is going to be a 7. All right, so make that 7. And then we know above the 7 it's going to be 1, 3, 4. So 1, 3. Oh, I hit the insert key. Oh, my word. I hate the insert key. 4. Okay. Now, so we know coming down is going to be 8. Don't need to hit that twice. And then we know the corner is going to be a 9. And then we know straight across from the corner is going to be a 3. And then the other corner is going to be 11. All right. So let's go look and see what we got done. Again, don't be afraid to reiterate your code and test to see, make little changes, see what it does. Look at that. We almost home. Look at that. We got these boxes. All we need is these 2 boxes on the side and our little pipe coming across here. So we're almost done. So now if we go up here and we look, we know that this box is 1 square away from that box. So we see a 4, so skip this. We're going to do a 1. Now we need the top, and I don't think we've used the top anywhere else. So we're just going to skip it. So it's going to, we know, okay, so we know that's going to be a 4. And then we're going to come down, it's going to be an 8. That's not an 8, that's a 9. 8. And then we know the bottom is going to be a 9. So if we come over here, we're 1 square over, so 9. And then we know this is going to be a 3. And then that's not a 3, geez. And then we know this is going to be a 11. And then going up, we've got 1 square, and then we got an 8. All right, now, so let's go up because we need to get this piece right there. So because we haven't used that piece yet. Then I'm aware. So that's 10. All right, so let's go up over here. So right here we're going to put a 10, and we could have just added the 1 to it. And then we also need the down one. We need a 2. So we come up to this box up here between our 11 and 9, and we're going to do a 2. Now let's go back to our drawing, and we are going to do 1, 8 because we're coming out of this. So we know it's going to be 1, 2 away. So we're going to start from this side. So we're coming over here. We're going to do an 8, and then we're going to skip 1, and then we should do 2 8s and line up with our box below. Okay. Now we're lined up with our box below. So we should have this side filled in. We just need to come over here, and this, where is it? Okay. Let's see. It should be the same as this one there. So it should be a 7. So we should come above between the 2 8s, and this should be 7. That's not a 7. That's a 7. And then we're going to go over 3. So we need to do 3, 3, 3. And then we're going to turn down, which we know that's a 1 here. And then we can go the other direction. So we go over here, and we know that where the 7 is, below the 7 is going to be a 5. So, wait, oh yeah, where that 8 is, because I put it in the wrong place. And now we're going to do 3, 3, and then where we line up here, we just need to go up, which is going to be the same as 9. So 9. I may have one too many 3s. We should have 1, 2. Let's go spin this around. Let's go see how we're doing. Oh, I know this is a long video, guys. We've got it. Look at that. We have created this right here. And this is what we were after, was this funky little pattern that I created. We did it. We're done. Well, almost done. So what we want to do now is where this is, and this is, and this, and this, and right here in this square, we want to put our dice. But we don't want to put just any number. We want a random number. So what we're going to do is we're going to go up. Let me close this down so you can see. So what we're going to do is we need, how many spaces is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? There's 3 and 4. That is 7. So we need 5 numbers to fill in the center place of these. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here, and I'm going to show you a little piece of code, okay? And I think y'all guys can handle it. It's no big deal. Now let me find out where I got my little snippet at. Okay, so what we're going to do is, just like with our black box we talked about with our scanner, we got another one called random. And what random does is it generates random numbers. And so what we're going to do is we want to create an integer, and we're going to call it dice. So what we want to do is we want to create something like this, guys. So we want to have dice, and we want it to be a random number of 6, because there's 6 dice. And if we go back up to our character table, it starts at what? 16. So we're going to do 16 plus whatever this randomizer does. Now, so how are we going to do that? We're going to do this with a simple little, we're going to do, oh man, my cat up here, and I can't type anymore. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to do for int I is equal to 0. And then we're going to say I is less than 7. Because we want, how many dice we want? We want 7. So let's make it 8. We want one more, so we want 8. And then we're going to say I plus plus. And let's go above this. My fingers will not work, guys. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do an integer array, and we're going to call it dice. And yes, it's going to holler because I already have something down there called it. We're going to do new int, and we're going to give it 7. We want to give it 7. Oh, you know what? Since we're doing this, in fact, since we're doing it for 7, let's take this 8 out, and let's just put dice. D-I-C-E-S. I don't even know if that's spelled right or not. Length. And then what we're going to do down here is we will get rid of this. And then here we'll put our brackets. We're going to put our brackets. And then we're going to put I in here. And so now, get out of the way, cat. Move your tail, move your feet. My cat's taking over my mouse pad. So now what we got to, oh yeah, we better put a block around this so we get something done. And we'll put a block there. So now what we've done is we have created some random dice. Okay. Sorry, cat. You're in my way. So what we're going to come down here and do, now we have 7 dice. So where we have in the center here, this is our color. We don't care about color. But down here where we have 0 in this spot, and it is going to mess up our array just a little bit, we're going to put dice, and we'll put 0 here. And then where's one of our other zeros at inside of our other little boxes? Yes, this kind of breaks them. So right here, we're going to put dice, move kitty, And we'll do 1 here. And then we have another box over here. And it's easy to find our boxes. And we're going to do 2 here. We got 4 more boxes to find. And when I'm looking at the pattern I'm looking for is 805. So when I find an 805, in most cases, this is 708. So we'll put another dice right here. And so we're on 3. So we'll do, I don't know, we did double. We'll do 3. And so we should have a couple more boxes. We got this box right here somewhere. There it is right there. So we'll do, what are we on, dice 4? And so we have 5 and 6. And they should be the ones on the far side, 1 away from the edge. So right here, this is an 8-8, so we know dice goes there. And so now we are going to print 5. And then we'll come down here to the very last one, which is going to be the 8-8 this direction. And put dice, and then we're going to put 6, which is our last one. Now let's run the code one last time. And if we did it right, hopefully we did, we will get our picture. So we're going to do 51. And this time, if you look in there, if you can see it, they're kind of small, but we did get different dice in each one. And if you hit 51 again, you're going to get different dice. They're going to move around the board here. Now, this is kind of hard to see because the font is so small. Let me see one thing right before I go. Settings. If I go to editor, if I go to color scheme, console. Oh, this is the colors, not color scheme. Excuse me. I want to go to, it ain't fonts. I found this earlier somewhere in here. I thought it was under, well, it's here. Colors, not under, code editor. No, that's the editor. That's not what I'm looking for. Console colors. This is the console colors. And this is what we're using. We're using the console colors here. And they already have them set up. I didn't even have to set them up. We probably could have just used them. And where I saw it, guys. I swear I saw it earlier. Somewhere under here. And now I can't find it. Console font. Here we go. Use font. I'm going to make this something like 20. All right. It did make it a little bit bigger. So let's run it again. 51. And you can see this is like got 2 dots. That's got 3 dots. That's got 5 dots. And that's got... There you go, guys. We have made this cool program here to be able to take our patterns. Now I want y'all guys to take what I've done and go out there and write. So do this one. Make your own up. This is the end of challenge 3. Hey, thank you for playing with my stars challenge. I hope you learned something. I hope it was not just, I hope this actually will teach you something. If you have any problems with it or you don't understand something that I did, get a hold of me and we'll go over it. Everything except for the random numbers we've covered in class. There you go, guys. I got to stop this. We've gone way over the time limit. Holy moly, we almost did it, 1 hour and 30. But there was a lot to do on this one. All right, good night, guys. Have a good evening.